Okay, y'all, this is Calvin with another segment of the universe. That's you and I verse. And we're dedicating this verse to the whole universe, everybody and everything in it. Because we're all one, right? It doesn't matter if you're a bird, if you're a bee, if you're a tree, if you're a mountain, if you're an animal, if you're a human being. None of that matters. The fact of the matter is that we're all one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to randomly pick a verse out this Bible, and then I'm going to give you my interpretation of that verse. All right? Okay, here we go. Okay, this is Isaiah. Is it Isaiah 8? No, this is Isaiah 7. No, Isaiah. Where did the 8 from? It's 7, right? Yeah, Isaiah 7, verse 21. Isaiah 7, verse 21. And what it says is that, and it shall come to pass in that day that a man shall nourish a young cow and two sheep. And it shall come to pass in that day that a man shall nourish a young cow and two sheep. This is one of those moments where I don't know what Isaiah is talking about. So that means I'm gonna have to go study a little bit this week and come up with the what Isaiah is saying. But as you all know, or you know now, that I'm gonna interpret this and tell you what I see. I'm really thinking about Isaiah pretty much, well, not pretty much, he's definitely giving us an idea of what's going to happen in the future. I don't know if it's about Jesus. I don't know if it's about some other young man, or I don't know if he's really talking about cows and sheep. But one thing I do know is that things are always happening. There's it's always happening. And we have people in our midst who have an idea of what's going to happen. And so this book right here is definitely an historical book. You know, it's definitely a spiritually bound book, and it's definitely up to our interpretation of what it means. And I think everything in here, you should read it, check it out, see what's getting ready to happen, or what has happened, and what's getting ready to happen. So my way of looking at this is definitely, y'all get ready. We got to be ready. Something's happening. Something big is happening in this universe of ours, and we don't really know all that it is. And so let's start taking a look at ourselves first of all. Look at ourselves and what is going to happen that day when it comes to us individually. And how can we prepare ourselves for it? What is it that we need to do in order to be prepared for it? Because evidently it's something about some new life, a new way of living, a new way of looking at stuff. Because on that day, that young man is going to start looking at cows and sheep, whoever that might be, or whatever that might be. And so let's start taking a look inside and determine who we are, what we are, and what role we're going to play in that at that time. You know, and I'm saying, let's not wait till the cow and the sheep appear, two sheep appear. Let's do something now. Let's start working on ourselves right now. Because there are things that are going to happen that are going to make us uncomfortable, and we're going to be talking about some oh my, oh my, oh my. When we should be saying, not we should be saying, we can say, oh well, something's happening. Let me get my stuff together today, right now. Let me start treating people better. Let me start looking at people better. Let me stop taking people for granted. Let me stop feeling that somebody else is supposed to be helping me. I'm feeling bad. They should be helping me. When in reality, is we should be helping others. We should get to the point, not should, I'm going to quit using that word, should. We can. We can make a decision to get to the point where we are contributing what God has given us to share with others. And that's the entire universe. I'm talking to everybody and everything. All right? And next week, you'll definitely have what Isaiah was talking about. And I thank y'all for listening in. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful week. Keep doing what you do in righteousness, and this thing gonna work out for real. Okay? All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.